Moscow is in the jolly holiday spirit with little outward sign that it is a wartime capital in Ukraine. With Russian casualties estimated at more than 300,000 dead or wounded and rising by the day. Choose your plan. ArrowRight Hundreds of Muscovites recently stood in line for hours in the winter cold to buy tickets to the Nutcracker. Last weekend a techno party was spearheaded by DJs from Spain and Eastern Europe. Even a series of Ukrainian drone strikes on the city in recent months have barely made an impact. Wrapped in a large city budget and relatively unaffected by waves of conscription hitting Russia's regions, most city dwellers can turn a blind eye to the violent conflict continuing 500 miles to west. The mood in the Kremlin appears to be even better. Or at least that's the official message. With Western aid to Ukraine stalled in Washington and Brussels amid Kiev's failed counteroffensive, and the front lines largely deadlocked with Russia occupying nearly 30% of Ukrainian territory, President Vladimir Putin is ending 2023 victorious. At the press conference combined with a rallying cry for citizens, Putin joked with journalists and voters, boasting that the Russian economy had bounced back from Western sanctions and claimed that our armed forces have almost improved their position along the entire line of contact. It was far cry from tense, highly choreographed public displays Putin has made 2022 as his troops suffered repeated setbacks on the battlefield. With none of anger he displayed in a televised speech June after Wagner mercenary forces staged brief mutiny. Putin has even resumed international travel in recent weeks, which the Kremlin had banned even before the International Criminal Court in The Hague issued an arrest warrant accusing him of war crimes. Putin's visit to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates caused flattering news in the Russian media. Close friends how attempts to isolate Russia failed. Red cover of Kommersant Money, the weekly supplement of leading financial columnist for RIA Novosti news site. The legend that was fed to them for 2 years in 2 days. Although some Russian voters used call show to pressure Putin about rising inflation, especially the high cost of eggs, economy has proven extremely resilient. Thanks to central bank's intervention, the ruble remained strong and Russian companies moved to capitalize on departure of international brands. We're seeing huge increase even in our younger customers because they can't go to Zara or Hague anymore, said a store owner of Lino Russo, Russian clothing brand that still imports its fabrics from Italy. Some Russians who fled the socio-economic turmoil caused by the occupation returned, finding it too difficult to live abroad. In his 24th year as Russia's leader, Putin is heading for re-election in March's elections, which will be little more than a renewed coronation. This caused his supporters to speak highly of Russia's achieved